90-minute race at Spa, a lot of interesting activities and a couple of unforeseen events as we are getting the green flag are ahead of us, guys. Into turn 1, Janne goes defensive on the inside lane, but we get a better run out of turn 1. Still close enough, trying to get a run down towards us. We are asking him whether he was sleeping again on the start, because it felt for me that his engine accelerated later than mine. Nonetheless, we are in the draft. Can we do it? Can we get him? Can we get a slingshot done on the exit of the straight around the outside, side by side? Cold brakes, cold tires. I can't really turn in. Have to back out of the move. But can we get him in the long run? So let's settle into the race pace, into the race conditions. As you can see, the gap got a bit bigger at the next couple of laps, and we are fuel saving. So that is the sole reason why we have the gap there at the minute. You saw Janne a little bit dirty into the chicane, as we say, as he missed a couple of apexes. However, things became interesting, because as you can see on the delta timer down there, half a second out of the last 2 laps. So we were regaining some pace, and eventually on the end of lap 6 we were close in striking distance. And as you can see, traffic ahead. Traffic is always mixing something up. As we see Janne going on the inside, the Porsche is thinking about it, going for the move late, locking up, and then both go wide. I am not sure if they both went wide or if they wanted to let me go. Either way, we passed these guys, trying to pursue Janne at front 1.5 seconds. We keep the fuel saving on as we see Janne passing the first GTE, and we cannot. We are stuck behind that guy a little bit, taking him here on the outside lane. Very opportunistic move by us, but as you can see, and that is a bit story of the first 15 minutes, whenever I've hit the traffic, I was kinda stuck at it. But that wanted to be changed as we are jumping into lap 18. Where is the rain, was the question. Because there was some rain expected on the forecast. 54 minutes already into the race, 54 minutes only to go in the race. And we were questioning, like, where is the rain? Our strategy to be set for rain. And all over the sudden the drops appeared on the windscreen. Here came the rain. Still saving the fuel. 17 laps done, 3 seconds to Janne, and you see on the delta timers it really goes up and down. It's sometimes Janne pulling a gap, then it's me closing the gap again. So we were still in striking distance, and guys, was there still something possible for us? 4 laps later, the gap meanwhile raised up to 5 seconds as we were stuck in the traffic. 3.5, 3.0, 2.5. What has happened? What was going on? And suddenly we found ourselves on a bunch of traffic ahead. A GTE, a lapped hypercar, another GTE, and suddenly I saw the rear end lights of Janne's Pug going into Le Combe, the Ferrari being a bit in my way here, which annoyed me a little bit, and also like not giving way. I know you don't need 100% give way in the World Endurance Championship with a blue flag, but still the leaders are battling, so I would have appreciated the guy to get out of the way. However, it took us only a straight to get 3 seconds closer to our competitor here. 1.2 seconds the gap, and then at the end of the same lap, lap 22, it was Janne that dived for the pits, and that meant hammer time, how they call it with you Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, because we had fuel for 1 more lap. We have saved ourselves a margin for 1 lap on low fuel, for still on reasonably well warmed soft tires as the rain poured down. So 1 lap later we then dived for the pits. Short acceleration towards the pit line, and then with a little bit of a safety margin we went into pit road, parking the car, getting a fresh wet tire on, and then we see whether our fuel job was enough. And if you have appreciated the race so far, if you appreciate these highlights videos and the sim racing content that we do, then I encourage you guys to consider becoming a subscriber on our YouTube channel, ring the bell for new videos, and enjoy the race. We are coming out of pit road, and we have jumped him not only by a bit, but by 6.5 seconds as the rain came pouring down. 5 laps later, the gap stable at 7 seconds. We were full push underway. No! Oof. You see it in our face. Big code brown. The gearbox not wanting to shift up after the spin. But what a save. We came out alive of Eau Rouge in a horrific spin. But our 7 seconds gap was gone. I mean, arguably we're still alive, so that's a bonus, but now we had Yannick right on our back. But what has happened? Let's have a closer look from the onboard. We simply losing it on the entry. I am shocked looking at this again in the aftermath of the race, being like, how close have we been to a complete disaster? From the bird view, you see immediately the moment I turn in, the rear is already like out of the line. Wheel spin in 6th gear, aquaplaning on the rear, maybe also touched a little bit the wet racing line. At the end, everything went well, but back to the battle. 1 lap later, Jan is still 7 or 8 tenths behind as we go into Stavelot, and we see that Peugeot in the background crashing into the barrier. What has happened with Jan? He immediately reports it has snapped, and yeah, maybe he had the very same issue that I had in Eau Rouge, just into the Stavelot on the braking. But if we have a closer look into his replay again from a bird point of view, you see that the car is sideways, he keeps locking the brakes, and eventually it was battery clipping, so his hybrid battery went into 100% the moment we got into Stavelot. That has made him locking the rears, and now he was under pressure. As you can see, Yannick 21 seconds back with the damage of the car, fighting against Igor Miti. He was side by side with him here already with roughly 10 minutes to go, and he was barely hanging on to second place. Miti there with a spin, so that gave him another 3 seconds of gap, but Miti came back at it as Yannick's car was completely struck. Just look at the delta times down there. Yannick had 2 seconds to me, 2.5 seconds or 2.3 seconds on the lap before, and that was just clear indication for his severe damage on the car. He lost that second place sadly, and never could really recover from it. Anyway, we took the car home. Then last lap, 42 laps of racing in mixed conditions. A code brown, a magnificent strategy in the first place. But overall, a really good race performance. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed the race and the highlights as we are rolling out on pits. And we're having a final look into the result.
0.4% DR,
so we come home in first place as we are talking with Yanni about his stats already. We are finding out about ours. 7.5% plus on the gold DR rank, getting us close to gold 2. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the race, and if you did so, guys, please consider becoming a subscriber on our YouTube channel. Ring the bell for notifications whenever we put more highlights videos out, and have a good time.